What's going
We
on,
got these.
everybody? Episode number 5. Your boy Gmacc. We got Chuvs in the building Sunday at 2 p.m. once again. Um,
Yeah,
Giving you guys the content, man, helping you guys out, keeping you up to date on important current events that are going on, things that we could all learn from. And yeah, I want to get right into it. Pops, you want to give them your intro? How you doing this Sunday?
everything's good this Sunday. Nice and warm up, down in Florida. I always like the state. It's a nice 72 degrees out here right now.
Nice, nice.
December 29th, 2024. Welcome, my peeps. I appreciate you guys being on. Listening on to the information we got to offer you guys, and many more shows to come. Just stay on, subscribe again. Black and White Podcast 101.
Yes, black and white. And I forgot to mention, I hope you guys all had a good Christmas too. I hope you guys had the family over, good presents, let the kids enjoy it, and eat some good food, good music. So yeah, forgot to mention that.
Yeah, and we're gonna be on, and we're gonna be on. Also, we're gonna be on after New Year's. So I want to, do it now and wish everyone a great New Year. Health first. With health, everything else comes later. Uh, just change if you're gonna change and stick to it. Don't change for a month, two, and then go back to what you were doing. Stay consistent. Do your thing. Dedicate yourself to what you're gonna do come in 2025. And good luck to all. And good health to all.
Yes, sir. I second that. All right, so let's get into it. Let's talk about the topics we're gonna hit today. Topic number one, we're gonna talk about these passport bros who are going out, to DR, Colombia, third world countries, basically, trying to find their future wife in their heads and ending up with the terrible experience. It's happening more often. More guys are realizing that there's women out there, so they're going out there to see what's up. And for a lot of them, things aren't going good because it's a different world out there. Second topic, we're gonna hit Daddy Yankee. Divorced after 21 years. I guess his wife was participating in some fraudulent activity that he didn't know about, which is crazy. I guess that goes to show you can just never get too comfortable, huh? 21 years and look. And then topic number 3, we're gonna hit this gay couple that's been in the news like crazy lately, who adopted these 2 kids and were 2 boys, and we're basically pimping them out, unfortunately, to these guys, to basically these sick men, these pedophiles. And it's that's an interesting story. We're gonna get into that one pretty deep. And then last but not least, we're gonna hit this mass immigration problem. I know everybody heard about the subway incident where the immigrant or the migrant invader, whatever you guys want to call them, at this point came in and lit this woman on fire in the New York City subway. It's just like it feels like at this point it's just another one of thousands of stories that we've been hearing about on a daily basis. So we're gonna get into that and how we could deal with this migration problem, if we're gonna deal with it at all. We'll see with the Trump administration in now. But yeah, let's get into it with topic number 1. Okay, passport bros. Pops, there's a new movement going out there. Now the OGs, especially when you're from these countries, you already know what's up, for decades at this point. But like I said, you got now the average Joe Schmo in, the Braintree, Massachusetts, or freaking Hackettstown, New Jersey, knows about this movement called Passport Bros, which is when, you're going out to a third world country. Most of the time it's going to be a country like DR, Colombia, Puerto Rico, where there's Latina women. That's, I guess, most preferred nowadays. But these guys are going out there. They've never dealt with a woman before. They don't know how to run game, none of this, and they're going out there, and bad things are happening to them. These 2 guys, I guess, went out there. This is specifically in Colombia, and the number one spot right now, the number one destination is Medellin. That's like where everyone's going. And these guys go out there, and this video is going to show what happens to them. But long story short, they get drugged and robbed, and this story made headlines because it really highlighted what's going out there and what could happen to these guys. If they go out here without knowing what's happening. So let's play this video. Let me get into this. Boom, boom. All right, here we go.
Hey, that's my girl! Man, that cruise sandwich always goes to my girl.
It's flag number 1 right there. I just want to say she's like forcing him to drink. Like, here, take this, insisting now that the other guy takes a drink.
Your mom is my mom, and my mom is your mom.
So she keeps insisting they take shots. She's like giving it to him, you know, pouring it down their damn throats.
I think you need a drug. What? I think it's drug. You run the road? Yeah. I'm drug. Y fue un poquito borracho. ¿Estás borracho? No me hiciste.
So she pours a drink, then goes in the bathroom with the cup.
Pre-rubbed.
Maybe the other girl likes.
I don't think you're getting sex. You might as well kick them out.
I don't know who likes me more.
If they keep wanting the camera off, kick them out.
Crazy. So you see obviously a bunch of red flags throughout this whole video. Pouring the drinks down their throat constantly. They're taking the fake sips. They're covering the camera, you know, bringing the drinks to the bathroom, you know, etc. So that was obviously being set up the whole time. The guy even said, I think I'm drugged, you know, and it's crazy because they didn't even like act like they cared. They were just going about the day, like going about the night like it was nothing. So like I said, right, Pops, my question to you with this, these guys, they're going out there inexperienced with American women, let alone these foreign women who we know if you go out there, these women are professional manipulators and they could be savages if they really want to, and they find the prey, oof, it's easy for them. So the first question, right, for the typical American Joe Schmo, whether he's, you know, the regular nerd out here, white guy, Asian guy, black guy, that thinks he's gonna go out to Colombia, to Santo Domingo, and go find himself a beautiful wife who's gonna love him, and they're gonna get together and live you know, happily ever after, right? What are things that they should be looking out for as far as like this, getting robbed, getting drugged, being extorted, set up? Maybe the woman's playing the long game and she wants that green card, you know, so she's coming out here, you know, she'll play the long game and run it for a few years, but it's all planned. So basically, what's your advice to these guys, and what should they be looking out for, you know, dealing with these women, or going out there and thinking they're going to find the woman of their dreams?
All right. First of all, you know, for those young guys out there, and it's gonna keep happening. I'm just, you know, we're just here to see if we can stop a couple guys from falling into that category. To start off, these women, just think of it this way: you're in a tourist area. These guys are constantly coming in and out. You're in a tourist area. They're gonna come. they're gonna go. They're gonna come. They're gonna go. These girls are used to it. It's like, okay, here's another customer. Basically, when you're in a third world country where money is vital to them, and to you it may not be in their country, they're looking for whoever they can get it from, wherever they can get it from. So when they see you, they don't see you. They see, okay, how much is this guy carrying? How much can I get from him? Compare it to when you're here. When you young guys, when you go to a bar, or any social life, what badass chick is coming up to you, is like, hi, how are you, and approaching you. They're not. So right there, when a girl does that in another country, take that as a red flag. Say, would they do that to me back home? Usually, probably 99% of the time, your answer is going to be no. So right there, that's a red flag right there. Wait, why is this beautiful woman just coming up to me and just wants to chill with me? That doesn't happen back home. I'm talking about that flag is not even red anymore. It's just burning. So that's, just everything that you do when you go away, compare it to how it is at home. If the women are acting way out of norm, it's for a reason. They're looking for something. Once you realize that, you can keep it moving. If you want to meet somebody and and have fun, have guys with you, do a how you call that, pre-started at in your hotel, get going, drink, whatever. And then when you do drink with these women, drink beer and then make sure it's closed before you get it.
Key point. Woo.
That's it. Just keep it going with the beer. I need a beer. I don't drink alcohol. You already got a buzz. You already got a buzz from the hotel, from where you're going. Just drink beer, and every beer you get, make sure it's closed. Make sure when you open that thing up, it gives you that.
Yeah.
If it does that, you'll be fine. Now, if they offer drinks and you take them, that's on you, because their job is to get you to a certain point to where they can get what they need. Your job is to avoid that, but have fun at the same time. So, you know what? At the end of the day, if you do that, they'll probably leave anyway, because it's like, you know what? Oh, we're going to go because this guy, they're going to go and they're going to talk. They're going to say, this guy's not falling for it. We got to go get another customer. And you're going to go do your thing, and you are going to avoid that robbery from happening to you. So just know that. Get it pre-started in the hotel, and then when you get out there, just keep the drinks coming, only beer, and make sure they're sealed. That's it. That to me is a recipe to have a good time, and you will keep your money. It's just a lot of these guys, they just they get caught up, and this woman, they look at these girls like, holy crap, I will never get back home. And yeah, you're never gonna get it. Not like that, because she's gonna get you, and then she's gonna bounce. So always compare it to how it would be at home and how it is when you're on vacation, and you'll see that you're gonna start looking at like, wait a minute, this is crazy. And when you say that to yourself, it's probably right.
Yeah, that's a good point. That beer, that drinking the closed alcohol only. Whew, I feel like that's an overlooked point, but that'll save you your life, possibly. If not your whole damn wallet, your life. Another tip like that too. Let's say you're out there at a club and a woman, you meet a girl, she's talking to you, and she wants you to go to one of her spots or one of her places. Is that a no-go? Do you only go to spots that you know of, or your hotel? Let's say you got your resort out there. Only places you're familiar with, or what?
Yeah, well, first of all, you got to go to places where everyone's around. Your hotel, she can say that you did something to her. It's always, and you got to keep friends around you. If you got 4 friends that came with you, at least keep 2 with you just in case. You got to know that pre-hand before you even do anything. Hey guys, we all always gonna hang with 2 and 2 if it's 4. 3 and 2 if it's 5, doesn't matter. Wherever we go, we need people to be with us, and we need to be in a light where there is, there was 100 people around. It just can't be, oh, let's go to my place, or let's go to. That is a recipe for you to go somewhere, and basically is saying, here's the carrot, come in here, boom, the cage closes and you're caught. So it's basically, that's what they're gonna do. Don't ever do that. let's go to my place, let's go over here, don't do it. Stay where all your friends are, stay where all the people are. And if you're gonna take a girl to your room or whatever, make sure it's a public place, make sure people are gonna be around, your guy's gonna get a room next door, anything like that. If anything, you already got that, I'm gonna hit the wall hard, come get me. That kind of thing.
Yeah.
If you're in the room next door. You just, unfortunately, you have to have this stuff pre-talked and pre-planned, because it more or less is going to happen. And the better you're prepared, the better you're going to come out on top. So, it's really hard for these guys to take that and be disciplined with it. Because it just gets crazy to a point where, girls is grabbing you here, this girl's grabbing you, and you're like, wow, this attention is crazy.
Yeah.
And that's their motive. Their motive is to make you that way until you just lose all focus of everything. Then they got you, So just have those friends with you, and just know that you have to be in a public area where other people saw you, other people can see you, other people can witness things. If not, if they tell you, let's go, they ask you, hey, let's go to this hotel down the street, or my friend's out. That is just saying, come to my trap. And, it's a trap that it's not going to come out nice, but I'm going to make it to where you're going to think everything is nice. And you might not even feel anything, because by the time that they finish with you, you're probably being conscious. So, and it's a sad thing, but yeah, keep it public. Don't go anywhere one-on-one or one-on-three or whatever it is. Always have your friends with you.
Cool. Yeah, great point. So number one, drink your own alcohol. Make sure it's closed. Don't be accepting random drinks from these girls or guys, whoever. Number two, keep it public. Don't be going to private places or accepting, these private invites to people's houses or another club or another hotel, because that could be a recipe for a set up. And trust me, it can and will happen quickly. Like you said, before you even know it. And the last point I want to bring up, I thought about basically flaunting, right? Being out there, these guys, let's say these guys are going out to Medellin, these American dudes. That's like, I've seen the videos, it looks like a damn a hooker strip. Like the woman, like you said, the women are used to this. They just going out there looking as bad as they can. They got their prices already, and it is what it is. But these dudes, these Colombian men, they're out there. They're like, wait, so these Americans are gonna think they're gonna come over to my country, bang, our woman, and then just leave scot-free? Oh no, we're gonna make some of you pay. So some of these guys, they don't know, but maybe they'll go rent out a Porsche, and they're wearing a nice watch, expensive shoes. They don't know really how to move out there in a third world country, and realizing there's real wolves out there that'll eat you up quick. So 100%. As far as your behavior being out there, not being too loud, obnoxious, dressing nice and looking good, but not going over the top to where you're just basically like telling everybody I got money. How do guys like operate out there in that facet?
Well, take a certain amount of money with you. Not a lot. Every day, just take a couple, let's say, the average money spent per day is maybe, let's say 100, whatever dollars they use, or two, let's just example 100, take 75. When you take that money out your pocket and they see, it's like, oh, well, he doesn't have a lot of money on him. Now, mind you, you have a credit card, so that you're going to use if the 75, if you spend that 75. But at least, when you show that money, when you take it out to pay something cash, they'll see that you're not loaded. So that's basically one of the telltales on, what, I might have to skip on this guy. Also, when these ladies, they're dressing the way they are, and these guys, these Colombian men, have the nice ride, and the tourists have the nice ride, and the Colombian man is like, hey, that's your car, this is my car. They do it too. They do it too, just like you do it. The thing is, they're doing it from money that they stole from the last guy. A lot of these guys are pimps. They're pimping these women out, and they're watching these women, and they're telling them, take him to this hotel, take him to. That's why you have to pick your own hotel. You have to, you have to pick somewhere that's farther from the area, because if they have everything set up, it's gonna be close. They're not gonna want to. They're not gonna say, well, take a taxi and go 30 minutes down the road, to this hotel. They're not gonna do that. So if you do that, she might not even go with you, because she's not even allowed by her pimp to do that. Now, if she does, and it's a bunch of friends, and all you guys go together, and it's a place far from there, that's at least 25 minutes away, 30 minutes away, and you pick the hotel, there's probably little how do you call that? Basically the what's gonna happen to you, you just lessened it by picking your own hotel and being further away and being with your friends, in a taxi. Again,
Just decrease the chances. Yeah.
Yeah. It might not even happen, because she's gonna be like, well, yeah, this is not the kind of customer I want. I can't do nothing with this guy. So that's gonna save you. But at the end of the day, take minimal money, something that you can pay for stuff for yourself and for somebody else, if anything, and have $20 left at the end of the night or whatever. But again, you have that credit card that's going to be a backup. You just don't want to show that money and bring out a stack talking about, I got all this, I got all my friends tonight. You don't want to do that. Everybody has to take out their own money and do it that way, because as soon as they see that, they're gonna be like, yeah, I'm just gonna keep looking for the next guy, because you don't have it. Now that guy that's flaunting and all that, that's where these women within themselves gonna be competing to see who's gonna get that guy, because that's what it is. It's a competition. I got to get my money. My pimp wants his money, or I got to do my thing. So those guys, let them take the all the attention. You guys just keep it low key, low money, and again, if you're gonna hook up with somebody, make sure it's away from there with friends in the same hotel.
Nice. Yep. Great points. That's oops, get that back. Solid info, solid advice from the big Chuvs, as always, baby.
So
Experience, man, because you've been out to plenty of countries, plenty of times, well-traveled, man. And even just being from there, you go out there, they don't even know you're American. They'll be like, oh yeah, this is one of us. So to see it from the inside, like you do, it's like a cakewalk to you. So you could really give a good insight to these guys who have no idea what they're getting themselves into.
Oh yeah, man. I've been to DR where I'm at a bar and a woman comes up to talk to me and be like, and I'm like, yo, I'm from here, so don't even try that. And she's like, oh, my bad. And then she'll go to another dude, and I'm sitting there watching her work, watching her. And she might go somewhere, and I might look at the dudes like, and the dude's like, okay, because we gotta look at each other. And if he wants to take it, fine. But I gave him that sign. A lot of them have taken it. It's like, oh, okay, boom. They'll take
what happened to them at the end of the night,
Yeah. So a lot of them have seen me go no, and it's like a thumbs up. They will leave their drink there and they bounce. Wow. And I'm just a beer, and it's like the woman will come up to me like, "Hey, where's this guy?" I'm like, "I don't know. He just left." Just drinking my beer. Yeah.
But you saved him from a damn demon.
Oh yeah, that's how quick it is, man. That's how quick it is. They have their customers, and that's with everybody. These women are not jumping on you because you look good and because it's what am I gonna get from this guy? He's a customer of mine. He doesn't know it yet.
Yeah, that's the mentality that they have. It's because they like you or they want to be with you. They're like, what is the opportunity I could get from this guy? How could I take advantage of him?
That's it.
But yeah, okay, cool. So let's jump on to the next topic. We got Daddy Yankee. If you guys haven't heard, filed for divorce, some nefarious behavior from his wife. Let's play this clip up and see what they're talking about. Then we got some questions for Big Chuvs here.
Yankee is probably one of the most famous, biggest reggaeton artists, pioneered the fucking genre. Remember when that nigga came out with the Gasolina song? Yet Yankee alleges Murietis Gonzalez withdrew $100 million without authorization.
After the musician announced he and Mercedes Gonzalez were separating following 29 years of marriage, he has filed multiple motions against his estranged wife, citing she has withdrawn a total of $100 million from company accounts without authorization. In documents filed on December 13th, obtained by Billboard, the musician, whose real name is Ramon Luis Ayala Rodriguez, alleges that Gonzalez, along with her sister Aisha, has taken $80 million from the El Cartel Records account and an additional $20 million from the Los Congres music account. The 47-year-old calls Gonzalez taking the money as a, quote, desperate attempt that went against, quote, warnings received and express requests that she put a stop to any management and initiative that would compromise the company's finance, per the outlet.
Damn.
It now becomes evident why she wanted to keep him in the dark and deny him information about the withdrawals and cash movements that she and her sister make behind his back. In the dual filings, Yankee requests the, quote, immediate removal of Gonzalez and her sister from the accounts and administrative duties of the companies. The filing further notes that Gonzalez...
Y'all niggas is funny. They said Mama Yankee is a thief versus Daddy Yankee. You niggas is funny, bro.
All right, let me stop it there. Mama Yankee's a thief. These dudes funny as hell. But all right, so Pops, this lady, 29 years of marriage with her sister. She's over here making a total of $100 million worth of withdrawals out of his accounts. So Daddy Yankee, he's probably worth 9 figures, 100 million up. You know, he's been around forever. Like Myron said, the damn pioneer of the reggaeton, the first one. You know, so he's been making money for decades now.
Yeah.
So I have an interesting question that I thought of, and basically it's even at this level, right? Even after 29 years, but at the level of finances that this guy's at, should your wife, you're worth millions of dollars, hundreds of millions, should she have access to your bank accounts? So she had access to the same bank accounts that you do, your cards, your debit cards, your login info, or should you do something like, you know, give her one debit card, you know, just have a certain, let's say, I'll keep 50,000 on this at all times, and this is what you use, or you give her a credit card so that it's protected, and, you know, just, you know, 100,000 a month is your limit. Or is it okay for your wife at that level to have access to your accounts? Because look what could happen. You know, what's your take on that?
First, you know, Daddy Yankee is, you know, he did his last concert, I think a year ago, and he dedicated his life to Christ. I don't know if you were aware of that, but he did.
Nope.
Yeah, he's in church now, and what happened with that is that he must have seen and, you know, been through so much that he's just like, you know what, that's it. So he said he wasn't doing any more concerts. His last one, he dedicated it to God himself. He's been in church ever since. So that means his mentality has changed, and that means his wife, I guess, is not in the same, you know, on that same journey with him. As a married man, this is the way I see it. You give your wife what you want to give her, in the sense of she's living off of you already. She doesn't need anything. Now, if she wants anything that, you know, on the side or whatever, then yeah, you set up an account for her personally, and then the rest of the account is a business account. That business account, if she's in your business, she gets certain access. But for her to take that money, that means she had all access to it. He gave it to her because, again, that's his wife. That's the law. The law is, you're my wife. You're entitled to what I'm entitled to. I'm entitled to what you're entitled to. If she was the breadwinner and she was making, you know, $100 million, he could have done the same thing. So in that sense, you know, it's marriage. So it should be, you know, 100% together. Now, if you want to break it up business wise, so that kind of stuff doesn't happen, I wouldn't put it down, because it's just protection for the business. Because if your wife is not a business person and she's taking money, that means she's not making business decisions. She's just making it worse for you to make up for that lost money. Second, if your wife needs anything, well, if she wants anything, she wouldn't need anything, then you set up an account okay, this is your limit. If you need it, you need it. If you don't, you don't. But it's there whenever you need it, and then we'll re-up it when you go down on it. But as far as the business money, I don't think she should have any access to it unless she's a business partner, not working for you, but a business partner that put money in and did all that. But if she's, she has a job that he gave her as an employee, then no, because employees don't have access to your account if you're a businessman. So if she's an employee, even though she's my wife, there's going to be different accounts. One for you personally from me, and then one for the account for the business, which is all mine, and you don't have access to it because you're an employee of mine. I pay you from that. So yeah, I guess he old school. It's like, hey, this is my wife. 20-something years. I don't expect that from her. People change. People will do their thing. If she took that much, that means he has a lot.
Yes,
So
sir, yeah.
he's not gonna go poor. But it's just a shame that she did it. But yeah, I would keep separate accounts for the business and account for her.
Yeah, that's crazy. And like you said, he's not gonna go poor from this. And I was thinking about it. That's why the importance of protecting yourself from something like this is so important, because imagine a guy, he only has 50 grand saved up, let's say, and his wife goes in there and takes 15 grand one day. That's gonna hit way harder,
Oh yeah.
on his damn heart and his bank account than someone like Daddy Yankee, who, like you said, if she took 100 million, the dude probably got a few hundred million.
Yeah.
So he's like, whatever, my lifestyle's not gonna change. But for someone who maybe took a decade to save up that 15 grand, and overnight your wife's
Yeah.
bitter, you guys are going through a divorce, she just takes it, you're screwed, man. That's gonna hit. So that's
Yeah,
great.
and also, this money is not. She just didn't take it in one day. She's been taking it throughout
Exactly.
their marriage life.
Marriage,
Yeah, he was just too busy. And the thing is that if you want to break it down, this is the way you break it down. And then this is why I always see that kind of thing weird. Because it's like, if you have a business and your wife takes that much money from the business, there's somebody out there in your business that would give you that call and say, hey, your wife is doing this, your wife is doing that. Are you cool with that? Because there's always somebody that got your back, a lawyer, because all this money has got to go through people. So for him, to bring that up now and to say, she's been stealing from me, I don't know if he already knew and he didn't want to say anything, but when it's that kind of that big of an amount, usually, people say, hey, your wife just, she just took out $50,000 for this.
Yeah,
Are
exactly.
you go with that? You go with that, as your lawyer, or I have to tell you this stuff. As your accountant, I got to let you know, this is so for that to come out, it's just weird. Now, again, it could be an insurance scandal. It can be something to where it's like, that's my theft. I'm going through my insurance so they can give me back this money, but she never took it. Yeah, it's just weird. It kind of makes me think like, you knew about this. You had to have known about it. You can't just lose $100-something million and never had any inclination that this stuff was going on.
Exactly. The only way that could happen is, like you said, if he just really wasn't just paying attention. It's like he's been rich for so long. He has a few accounts, hundreds of millions, that over the years he didn't realize it. And the next you know, you look and you're like, 100 million. But it's like, yeah, at what point does somebody say, hey, like $20 million is missing from your account after the last 10 years? So it's like,
accountants and there's lawyers and friends that are in the business are like, hey, you're missing like $30 million, from last year. Like, where's that money at? That kind of thing, you know what I'm saying? And then so it's weird that that's happening. I don't know. Again, I'm thinking, and did he not pay taxes, and now he can say, hey, they stole this money from me, and that's why these taxes weren't paid. It's just, yeah, it can open up Pandora's box. But it's just, for that much money to be lost and you never, like, like you said, after 20 mil, it's like, yo, like, what's going on? So it makes me question a lot of things.
Yeah, no, it's that's a questionable thing when you put it like that, 100%. Cool. So we talked about that. We got the passport bros, covered that. Guys, be careful out there going to these countries thinking everything's gonna be all dandy, because it could get bad. We got the divorce, how to protect yourself against, you got millions of dollars, assets, how to protect yourself against that. So, you don't end up like Daddy Yankee, if that's what actually happened, to where a woman's out here stealing millions and millions of dollars from your accounts without you knowing. And now let's get into topic number 3. We got the couple. We got a gay couple who adopted these 2 young boys. And as I said previously, basically we're selling them for sexual activity, exploiting them, pimping them out, if you will. And it's a very sad story, man. It's you think about things like this, and these kids, the whole future is just changed from this. Who knows what would have been different in their future lives if something like this didn't happen. But when it's allowed, right? So it's the law. So now let's bring up this video real quick, and we'll jump into this topic.
And now let's go through the story together. I do think we need to talk about the story. Husbands who abused adopted sons in House of Terrors slapped with massive prison sentence. William and Zachary Zulog, a Georgia couple, were sentenced to 100 years in prison without parole after pleading guilty to multiple charges of sexual abuse after their 2 adopted sons, including aggravated sodomy, incest, and sexual exploitation of children. The crimes came to light when the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children tipped authorities about homemade child sexual abuse material, CSAM, linked to the Zulog's IP address. Investigators found surveillance footage and electronic evidence, including graphic images and messages documenting the abuse. District Attorney Randy McKinley described the Zulog's home as a house of terror, stating the depth of defendant's depravity, which is as deep as it gets, is not greater than the resolve of those who fought for justice and the strength of the victims in this case. By the way, Rob, this is not even the full story of it. If you go to New York Post with the story to read what else is in this story, these guys were selling these boys to others. These 2 guys were selling the boys for other men to abuse their adopted sons. Think about this story. So the question becomes, this is the one. If you can go a little bit lower, Rob, to keep going a little bit lower, lower, gives us 34, 3,600 years, keep going. Those are the 2 of them defendants. Keep going, Lord. The 2 brothers were 12 and 10 years old. The couple raised them under these guys, but the first was a government employee, had a dark secret. Okay, Zachary worked in banking, and William was a government employee. The couple were regularly forcing the boys to have sex with them, and would show the abuse, pornography. Keep going lower.
Yeah, love.
Look at the shirts, Rob. Evidence showed that they even begged about the abuse to twisted friends, with one telling police Zachary once sent a Snapchat message reading, "I'm going to F my son tonight, stand by," along with images of the boys being abused. And they allegedly used social media to pimp the boys, at least to 2 men, in depraved local pedophile sex rings. The couple were arrested in 2022. Both of them pleaded guilty to child molestation. So
Okay, crazy. Let me play a few more seconds, and then we'll get into it. 335 right here. He basically asked a question for you, Pop. So just listen specifically to this clip.
12 years old. What should happen to these 2 guys? There's a lot of questions here, by the way. There's some will even speculate to say, can a gay couple be able to adopt kids? Some people go as far as that. If you just go 80 years ago, 40 years ago, 60 years ago, when they did a survey by Gallup on what percentage were comfortable with this, it is a very, very small percentage compared to what it is today. But to me, what should happen to these guys? Worst case scenario. What kind of example should happen to these 2 men? Do you know what happens if you put them in jail and others find out what they did to these 2 boys? Do you know what they're going to do to these 2 men? Do you know what they're going to do to them? But the reality of it is that 100-year life sentence enough for the next gay couple to not want to be tempted to do something like this to boys that they adopt? What is the right decision to be made here, Tom? What do you think?
So, boy, I'll just transfer that question over to you. What is the right thing to do with these 2 guys? Great point. Put them in prison, put them in Gen Pop, see what happens to them, or give them 100 years. Is that going to change anything? What's your take?
Yeah, you know what? I thought about this because I read up on it. I would put them in Gen Pop. I would make them go through hell. I would have them just know what these kids felt, and just wake up the next day with the same thing because there's somebody else going to do it to them, and another person, until they decide to take their own lives, or someone just takes their lives for them. I don't think we should, keep people like this in jails, confined, private cells and stuff, so, and keep just providing, meals and in a warm room, and they can read magazines after they did all this. Put them in Gen Pop and just let like they used to do back in the day. Let the community decide what they're going to do with them. And what I mean by the prison community inside, if you want to molest kids, okay, we're going to molest you every day for a year until you either take your life, or if somebody just decides, what, we're tired of these guys, let's just take their lives anyway. But yeah, I would put them in general population and make them go through hell, and just so other people know. And then I would send these reports out when whatever happens to them. I would put them on the news, like, so all these people can read and can see this is what happens to you when you do things like this. Another thing is, not all gay people are the same, but when you got two gay men adopting straight boys, that's not a good recipe. It's, first of all, they're probably going to try to make him gay. He's going to see all these gay tendencies, and again, they're attracted to that male. They like males. So it's tricky to be like, oh yeah, they're good family man, and they've proven to us that they can take. They haven't proven anything. They just went through through all the
regular process.
All the process that you accept as okay. They can go on and and adopt a kid, but they haven't proven anything.
That was going to lead me to my next question to you. For gay couples specifically, should they do extra screening, maybe an extra mental health screening, or an extra, extensive background check more than the typical procedure? Because it is a atypical situation. It's not normal for a gay couple to want to adopt straight boys. It's just innately makes it a bit uncomfortable. And so should they go through extra screening if they want to adopt children?
No, because they'll figure out how to pass that screening. I think that a gay couple, whichever gender that they like, they shouldn't be able to adopt that gender. They should be able to adopt the opposite gender. So if you got two gay guys, you can only adopt girls. That means you're not interested in those girls, and you're actually going to raise them as girls because you're girls in your minds. So then these girls are just, they're gonna be raised by basically men that are like women. So I don't see anything there that can hinder the relationship within those two. But when two women adopt a girl, there's going to be a point, especially when they're not related blood-wise, there's going to be a point in their life where one of them might see her as an attractive teen, because they like women. So then there it comes. Now she's been living with you guys. She's probably heard you guys have sex. She's probably seen a bunch of stuff that she shouldn't. And now, she's going towards there. Next thing you know, one day you come home drunk and you like girls, and next thing you know, she's not your blood. She's not nothing. And you just go for it. And then she's like, well, this is what we do because this is what I've been seeing. And that's why I say if a gay couple is going to adopt, it should be the opposite sex. It should be.
No, that's a good point. Yeah, because it's very logical. If you like the same gender that you're adopting, at the end of the day, you're not blood related, So and the kids get older, they might be a teen now. So you're now having thoughts. Oh, he looks a little good, just sick stuff. So that puts them in a vulnerable situation for them to get taken advantage of. Because at the end of the day, they're just kids, So even if they know it's wrong, they're scared to talk out to authorities, and they don't, because they don't know what's going to happen inside the home. Oh, I'm going to get beat, or this is going to happen. So it's a sad situation that these kids get put in, and the worst part is they have no control over it. No, it's like I guess you have to meet the parents, but you really have no control over it. It's just like stay in a foster home or go with these people who seem to be typical good people, and then next you're getting freaking sold on Instagram DMs for fucking sex. Crazy.
And look, and there's some great great parents that are gay, two men, care of boys. The thing is that this makes it now it's like it's alarming, and now people are thinking about it. But there are men that are together in the union that are taking care of kids, great, and women that have girls that are taking care of girls, great, like a parent. The thing is that this is a possibility, and so how do we minimize this? Because you at the end of the day you can't just get rid of it 100%. But how do you minimize it? And so now this dark event now brings light to this stuff, and now it's going to be. I know it's going to get probably stricter now for these guys to adopt boys. But again, in my opinion, if you want to adopt anything, if you like men, you can adopt boys. If you like women, you can adopt girls. That's just my opinion. And again, I know there are couples that do, and they're great at it. But I just see that this problem can be more likely than unlikely if it keeps happening.
Yeah, and good thing Trump's in office now, and this damn story gets to his desk, because hopefully he passes some more legislation on this type of stuff and
Yeah.
put some more, parameters in check in order for these guys to be able to adopt children, like that. Cool. So we covered the third topic. We got this couple who did some demonic things, and hopefully they put him in Gen Pop. They don't put him in PC protective custody. They put him out with all the rest of the people, and they get to suffer like they made those kids suffer.
Yeah, let
Cool.
them have
So, yeah. Let's get to the last topic here. The one that the whole damn world's been talking about for the past freaking 2 years, 4 years, really, ever since Biden took office. Immigration problem. So I think it was 2 weeks ago, if I'm not mistaken, somewhere around there, where we all heard of that immigrant in New York City who lit the lady on fire in the subway. And this is story after story about this young girls getting raped and killed. You find out that the guy was arrested 3 times already. He's been released, and they just basically like, listen, we're just gonna keep letting this guy out until he kills somebody. Then we'll keep him. And it's literally story after story. There's hundreds of these stories. It's not even surprising anymore. And we're gonna break it down with this video with Myron. It's like 2 clips, about a minute each, and then we'll go into. I got some questions for you about this. So let's bring this up on screen.
Let's get it.
We got a good 15 minutes. Okay, perfect timing.
Yeah, we're good. We're good on time.
One sec, folks. Bear with me here. I'm playing producer and host and co-host.
And a damn good one. All right, let's get it. I'm just getting better.
Let's go 47. Okay, cool. Here we go.
Countries want to fucking come here. So this immigration problem is a huge problem because we're getting exploited on multiple ends. We're getting attacked on the southwest border.
Before I play this, actually, Pops, I want to preface this. We have that that event that happened on the New York City subway. But this has been going the past like 5 days, probably. I've been seeing this everywhere, which is Elon and Vivek. They just made the comments about allowing the Indians to come in via the H-1B visa program, which is basically a program that allows United States business owners to hire foreign workers. But basically, they're like, of course, Elon now he's doing this in Vivek because they can hire these Indians for cheap labor compared to here, and that's just a loophole they're going to use now. Now they're in there with Trump, so now there's kind of this friction that's starting to start between like Elon and Vivek and Trump, and people are saying this is the Democrat. This is what they want, the party for now. Now the plan is to get Trump and Elon and Vivek to go all against each other and just mess up the whole team basically. And so that's number one. They're just using this as a loophole. And then number two, everyone knows that these visa programs get exploited all the time. They get taken advantage of. These people are supposed to come here with a degree, get employed for a temporary amount of time, then go back to their country. These people ain't going back. They're not going to work for a company and provide the U.S. with value. They don't care. They just want to get here so they can have the freedom and then they're going and buying the damn 7-Elevens. You got 8 cousins, they're gonna buy businesses, then buy up real estate, and slowly start taking over and expanding. And that's what Myron's about to get into here. So I just wanted to preface that before I play this.
Okay.
Let's continue.
People coming in illegally through there, right? And I'll explain how that works here in a second. I don't think I've ever explained how human smuggling works, but I got y'all. I'm going to explain it to you guys, right? Then you got people exploiting visas to come in, right? And I talked about some of the worst ones: H-1Bs, F-1s, J-1s, B-1, B-2s, visitor visas. Then on top of that, you got people exploiting the visa waiver program, coming in here and overstaying. Canadians are some of the worst fucking offenders of that shit. Trudeau's sinking that country to the ground. Their immigration is fucking through the roof, and they're fucked up. And that's another reason too why I'm very pro-strong anti-immigration. That was a terrible way to phrase it. I'm very anti-mass immigration. There we go. I'm against mass immigration because I look at countries like Canada, I look at countries like France, I look at countries like Italy, I look at Australia. They're all fucked. They're all getting overrun by third world invaders, right? It's fucked. Absolutely terrible, right? I understand the need for immigration to a degree, but when you just let anybody in and everyone's a fucking refugee, your country's going to be overtaken. And the problem, right, also with the H-1B thing, which I'm just going to say it, right, is that you're not just importing a foreign worker, you're importing their fucking culture. All right. And a lot of the times these people come from countries that don't respect freedom of speech, don't respect democracy, don't respect liberty, right? That they just don't. So we need to have strong borders and keep a lot of these people out. And this is coming from a guy, FYI, full transparency here. My family's from Sudan, right? So I should be super pro-immigration, but I'm not. Why? Because I know that when you bring uncivilized, third world people that refuse to assimilate, that's another thing that you guys need to understand as well about a lot of these people. They don't want to assimilate. They don't want to speak English. They don't want to follow the laws. They want to scam. They want handouts, etc. Obviously, you got your good immigrants, of course, but a lot of them create problems, right? So you look at fucking Canada, look at them. I would say if we continue to have this whole mass immigration in 10 to 15, 20 years, we'll be like them. You don't even know it's Canada. Like a lot of times, you'll think you're fucking Sri Lanka or something. Speaking of which, Canada has the biggest population of Sri Lankans outside of Sri Lanka.
Crazy. Think of it, Sri Lanka. Great points, though. Basically, it bottoms down to the question, to the point of this. If we continue on this path of letting all these people in, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when this country just becomes third world, just like the people who came from those third world countries. They're just like Myron said, they're not just coming here, they're bringing their culture, everything that they're used to, everything that they know with them, and they're not willing to assimilate and say, okay, we're in a new place, let's respect their way of living, let's respect their laws, their procedures, the way they do things. No, it's like, I don't care, I'm coming here to get mine. And now we got a bunch of crabs in a bucket, worse than what it is already, and it's just gonna get chaotic. So yeah, what's your take on this whole thing?
Yeah, you look at, I personally, I look at the inflation and stuff like that now. So hard to get a nice 4 or 5 bags of food, under $130. That's because of that. A lot of that has to do with the immigration, because the prices are going up. The money that's being used to house these people is ridiculous. Yeah. So it's like a budget. You have money, in your house that comes in, and it's allotted to this. Separated. Boom, send it here. Now it's like, oh, wait a minute, take all this and send it to this. What happens to those, to those areas where you're supposed to send that money to? That's what's happening here. The Democrats, unfortunately, are more focused on taking care of people from out of this country and bringing them here. to me, in my opinion, to get votes, that it's actually destroying the world. But at the end of the day, it's getting votes for them. But they don't know that they're hurting themselves too, because they're from this country. Um, the um, the the immigration thing is, it's like, I know Spanish people, that have come here illegally. I know Dominicans that have come here illegally. I know other people that have come here. They're gone now. They gone back home. They came here for a while and they left. They, I remember they would go somewhere and they would be like, why isn't he talking Spanish? And I'm like, well, you're in America. You should learn English. They're like, nah, this guy should. And I'm like, no, you got it all wrong. And that's the thing. It's like, these guys are coming here and they're saying, I'm going to bring my culture to you, and you have to accept it, and you, instead of the opposite way. And a lot of people do, they fall for it. They're like, oh, you know what? It's true. They don't know this. No, 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 no. They have to learn these ways of this country. If you don't, go back home. Simple as that. They're here to make a buck. They're here to send money back to their countries and deplete this country.
Exactly.
Yeah, they're here to deplete the country.
That's
So it's like,
one thing
yeah,
real quick I want to bring up is that these guys, let's say they end up being business owners, a lot of this money they're making, they're taking it out of the country. They're sending it back home to all their family. So that's another way that it's hurting, us here.
yeah. They're not recycling the money here. They're sending it over there, and they're starting businesses over there. And and then they have their young kids or their young siblings, in the sense of brothers, sisters, cousins, nephews, start businesses over there with the money that should be running here and should be running through the veins of the country. And now what they do, and they cut that vein, and that money is spilling out, and is going to they're funneling it to their countries. And this is not, I'm not talking about 1,000 people to Sri Lanka. I'm talking about millions to Sri Lanka, millions to Afghanistan, millions to this place, millions to that place. What's happening here is this place is drying up.
They're exploiting. They're just coming here to exploit it.
Drying up. It's drying up. And and then these other countries where you go to China, you don't see that stuff happening like that. Why? And that's why I say China is becoming a powerhouse slowly, because of that. Because they're seeing this stuff and they're like, okay, fine. In a couple of years we see where it's going. The statistics will tell you, where we were 10 years ago, 15 years ago, 30 years ago, to where we are now. And we're on a deficit. We're at a deficit with a good economy. We're at a deficit with good paying jobs. All the jobs are going out of the country. It's a shame that these immigrants, and again, not all of them are coming in illegally. Some are doing the right thing. Again, I'm from Dominican Republic, and my father came here legally, did the paperwork, brought us legally, and we had a system where it's like, okay, we got to do it legally, so we don't have to look over our shoulders, and we've been contributing to the country ever since. But yeah, these people they just see as like, that's the pot of gold. Let's go get our part, and let's go take it back home and make our community stronger, and then their infrastructure and their economy is booming, coming from here. So we're contributing to all booming economies around the world that have seen a boom in the last 20, 30 years because of this. And we're not seeing that boom anymore. And slowly but surely, if we keep at this, yeah, we'll be a third world country.
Yeah, we'll be the next Canada, the next France.
Yes, we'll be the next Canada. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, it's great. The biggest problem with me is that, like you said, these people come here and they have no allegiance to the U.S. Like, they don't care about the fabric of this country or the morals that it stands on. They just come here to see it as a quick buck. They don't care. It's like going to a house where, like you said, the pot of gold. And instead of being like, all right, let's keep this house clean, let's take what we got to get, let's do it, the way it's supposed to. They're going in there, kicking holes in the walls. They don't care. They're scratching up the floors, tearing up the ceilings, as long as they got what they got to get. And then they get out. And then at the end of the day, when so many people do that, you don't even have a house anymore because the whole thing's just torn down and there's no gold anymore. It all got taken out by these savages. And yeah, like you said, if we continue on this, we will be a third world country because we just can't keep up at this rate.
Yeah. Why break in the house and take what you need and keep it neat if you're not going to live there? It doesn't matter, right?
Exactly.
That's what they do. That's what they do.
And real quick to close up for today, the last question I wanted to have is, so we know the last question I have is, so we know that the past 4 years, crazy immigration, millions have came in. Now we got Elon and Vivek talking about the H-1B program. I was thinking about this question in detail. Should we, at this point, just halt immigration completely, let's say for the next 1 to 2 years, and just say, let's deal with the problem that we already have, the massive problem? Or like these guys are saying, Elon and Vivek, is if you have hardworking guys, skilled laborers, in their words, they should be able to come in on these waiver programs and these visa programs. So my question to you is, should we let these people in who are qualified, or should we just say, let's fucking deal with the problem we already have and then, continue, fix the process up and then let these people come through who are qualified?
I personally, I think that Vivek and Elon are thinking of, in a sense of, while Trump, has, the TSA and all this Homeland Security and all this stuff going on in regards to getting people out of the country, they're like, why don't we just start building it as they go? So basically, if you're pushing this group out, start pushing this group in, and it will never, because if you get rid of the people that came in illegally and you just don't do anything, it's going to take a lot longer. But if you start bringing in a whole group of people that are going to provide and going to create jobs and going to create money, and they got to stay here for a certain amount of time, because it's not like, and they got to pay taxes and all that, because now they're registered from the government. So now it's like, okay, you're paying taxes, you're doing everything. While we're getting rid of all these people, you bring these people in. I think that's what they're thinking. Get rid of all the people that are riffraff and bring in people, because remember, these visas, these people have to have a second degree in college or something.
Yeah, they have to have a bachelor's in whatever they're gonna come here to work for. Yeah.
So that means they're working for something. They have to prove that they're not going to stay in the country, in a sense of they have more to lose if they leave their country and stay here. A lot of them are going to benefit from this and then go back and use what they've learned here and take it back there.
That's exactly what it is, though.
But the thing is that while they're here, they're going to produce. While they're here, they're going to pay taxes. While they're here, they're going to contribute. So I think that they just want, that's their goal. Get the people that are not doing anything for this country and depleting it out, while you bring people in to actually start up a new way of providing it, and new money, basically just bring in new money. That's, to me, that's what they're trying to do. I don't see nothing wrong with it, as long as they get rid of those people that are the riffraff of the country. If they start doing that, because if you get rid of millions of people because they're illegals, it's obvious that jobs are going to go up. These people with the visas are going to take over those jobs, in the sense of not those low jobs, but the higher jobs. In a sense of
different kinds of jobs, right? The people that are here, they all have the low skill jobs. So these guys, and the only argument, that the biggest argument I've heard, is that people are just upset that they're like, why are you bringing people from India over here? You have Americans that could fill those same jobs. So it's like, why? But and then that's the thing. It's like, oh wait, I know why. It's because you can hire them for fucking, $17 an hour instead of having to pay me $25. Because they were getting freaking $10 a month. So you come over here and you tell them they're gonna make $70,000 a year. They're like, holy shit, we're rich. And that's the thing. It comes down to people tired of basically the big shots or whatever, these big companies doing these things for their own.
They've been doing this since the dawn of time. The thing is that okay, so look at it this way. there's a McDonald's job, right? And it pays $20 an hour. You offer that to 10 Americans and you offer that to one Indian, the Indian's gonna take it.
Yeah.
And it's $20 is not bad. It's just Americans have a way of thinking of like, you know what, that's not good enough for me. And then these people are coming from another countries like, I'll do that job and I'll do it for 12 hours a day. I don't care. So then the people that didn't take the job saying, hey, this Indian or this whoever is taking jobs. No, the job was offered to you. You didn't want to take it because you live here and you're spoiled and you think that you should get more for that job that you got 10 of these guys that will take it. So then I got to blame, Americans also for not taking the jobs that pay well, but in their minds, it's not enough. When these people come, it's like, I wasn't getting nothing. I want that job and I'll stay here. And then those people will work 12-hour days. And next thing you know, in 2 years, they're managing the damn McDonald's, because they're dedicated. It's all they have. And that is, to me, is what Vivek and Elon are saying. Like, these opportunities are there for you. You're just not taking them. So then we got to give them to somebody else because we can't just let the country dry up. And, and these people, they put in the work. They start from the bottom and they don't care because they had less. Us, we have, and we just like, social media. Oh my God, look, my friend is working over there doing this. These people, they're not worried about that. They're going to work and they're going home. They don't care. They don't care about what they looked at, how they looked at. They're just making that money, and they're actually they're excelling in their field. And then again, I've seen these guys do this, and in 5-6 years, they're almost running a store. And I'm like, wow. And he's like, yeah, I put in 12-hour days for 3 years straight, and Americans don't like to do that. They're very spoiled.
Yeah.
So in that sense, I got to give it to Vivek and Elon because they see, and they know the statistics. They know, and so I'm sure that the end game is that it's going to help the country.
Yeah, well, hopefully that's what they have. That's what the intentions are, because those are our leaders, right? And I trust them. That's why we voted for them at the end of the day. That's why I voted for them. But
and look, and the fact that they're getting rich while they're doing this, fine. Somebody's got to make money, but at least they're getting rich and helping at the same time. It's not like if they're getting rich. It's not like if, we want immigrants because we don't have to pay them that much, but at the same time they're providing more tax dollars, more everything. So it's like, okay, I don't care about what you're making. What are you doing for the country? Well, if we do this, it's helping this. Okay, you're making your money, but at least you're helping. That's
both of them, they all are business owners in the U.S. So they all together employ thousands and thousands of people. Provide meals for thousands of families and a life. So they provide a lot for this country. It's good to know that there are leaders are actually doing something. It's not like just this ghost person you see. Every time it's election time, they pop up and then you never hear them. You don't even know what they do, who they are. They're very transparent. They go on podcasts all the time. You have Elon. You got Elon on Joe Rogan taking a puff of the weed. So it's
they're letting you know their intentions.
Yeah, exactly. And the transparency is what makes people like you, because they're like, all right, I could relate to this guy, even though he's a billionaire up with Trump. I still got something in common with him. So that's
Yep.
But yeah, that was it. That's we wrapped up all the topics. That was a really good episode. I like doing these all the time, man, because these are the topics we would break down on the phone regular, and then doing it on here is cool because people can hear it and they're gonna agree. Some people are not gonna agree. That's another thing that's interesting, seeing the different takes of people. It's quite interesting. The same point that we make, someone would completely hate it, and someone else would be like, "This is 100% right." So it's cool. That's what it's about. Black and white, baby.
That's it. Black and white podcast 101.
That was a wrap up for episode number 5. We covered. Let's go over the topics real quick. The passport bros, be careful. We covered Daddy Yankee's divorce. Be careful about those bank accounts. The gay marriages. You guys leave the comments about that and what you think about that topic. Very interesting topic. And then what was the last? And then what we got here? The immigration. We got these a lot of problems coming in. We talked about a lot of it, and again, Leave your comments. What you guys think about that? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Why? And you know, we'll respond in there or on the next episode. So yeah, thank you guys again. We'll see you next Sunday for episode number 6 again with some interesting current events to help you guys out. Pops, give them your intro out, your outro.
Outro. Yeah, please again, subscribe. This show is only going to get better. And with your help, it'll get better faster. Again, we're going to cover, whatever you guys are reading into. We're going to give you our 2 cents on it and, our perspective. We want you to learn from it, take whatever advice you can from it. And again, we're here for you. Be there for us, and we'll grow together. So again, I want to wish you guys a good new year, a good, healthy one. Again, for you and your families. We'll see you after the new year with some new and exciting, bad and good, in a sense, black and white issues. So, take care, and we'll see you again very soon.
2025. We'll see you guys 2025. You have a happy new year. Be safe. Do your thing, and we'll see you then. Peace.